Now here's something different. A TYT TH-UV88, which is 1362174 It looks like it can be used as a business radio if it's approved for that, but it's all actually for ham radio. So I'm a member of the South Kesteven Amateur Radio Society at Grantham, and I won this in the Christmas quiz. I don't win anything, and the quiz was a radio quiz, and as it happened, I seemed to know more answers than anybody else. Some of it wasn't just two-way radio. It's things like the Archers on Radio 4, which is the thing which makes me turn off Radio 4, with some bizarre names like Schuler. Sorry if you're a Schuler out there. I don't know any Schulers. So what have we got? We've got an instruction book. Obviously didn't come from my wholesaler. We've got a programming lead. And we've got a charger with a 13 amp plug on it. I wonder if Mr. Chippie's been in here yet. I've been wanting to do this. I mean, we're now 3 months plus in, but it's the weather, isn't it? I'm going to want Mr. Chippie to take out the body cam. And a belt clip. We'll put that on one side. And whether or not we can plug that in is another matter. So it's come on at 433.55 and 145.55. Well, that was straightforward, wasn't it? I wonder if you put in the frequencies direct. No. So you no doubt have to program this. This isn't to kind of show you how it works. I'll get Mr. Chippie to program 3 channels into this, and a couple on. We'll have our repeater in here, so I don't do much with 2 meters. I was, when I became a radio amateur, I wanted to be on 77s, and it's like you chose a band and you stuck to it, and I've stuck to 77s ever since. And I've done the odd club activity on 2 meters, but I just love 77s. It just works where you don't expect it to. You go in the middle of a city and all the glass buildings bounce the signal. You think, wow, that was great. Right, we'll get this on charge, and we'll come back to this when it's got some charge in it. Okay, so roll on a few hours, and Mr. Chippie's programmed this with a few channels. 3 simplex channels on 77s, 3 simplex channels on 2 meters, and our repeater GB3GR on 77s, of course, which is where that is. So they use an SMA connector, and it's the opposite way to most SMA connectors. So you actually have the socket on the radio. Now luckily Mr. Chippie's got the adapter to SO239, because the test set we use here, because we mainly do CBs on this test set, is set up for SO239. The other test sets are all set up for BNC. It saves having a tree of adapters, because we want the whole idea of this video is to let's see what power this is doing. I've no doubt. Oh, phone's ringing. Okay, that was one of my elderly parishioners who I do some shopping for. I did her shopping this morning, and she was apologising because she normally puts a £1 coin in the envelope because the supermarket trolleys at Morrison's, where she has me go, you put £1 in, which is refundable when you put the trolley back. And instead of £1, she put a 5p piece in. So it was a bit of a faff having to go to customer services, changing a £10 note to get £1, walking back to the car park for a can you imagine? So she said, "No, you're quite all right." She was 87 last week, so these things happen. Right, so what it is how many watts do we think they say? And what I was going to go on to say is, how many of you have looked at AliExpress and similar, and you've got those Baofeng handhelds, and it's 10 zillion watts, and they're all 5 watts but actually do 4. Do you know what? The phone's ringing again. Roll on 20 minutes. I was talking to Mark there on the phone, G7NDJ, ZX2. He's coming to stay the weekend. Right, back to what we were doing. So it comes in with a drop-in charger, which is nice, instead of having to faff around plugging something into the back. So we charge the battery, and I think you can do it from the keypad, but Chippie's done it with software. I'm just trying to find a specification in this book. Yeah, you can do it in about 100 keystrokes. I mean, to put the 7 channels in, I thought it would be not good, and that's why he's done it through software. Now, the software it came with, Mr. Chippie couldn't make head and a tail of it, so he downloaded Chirp software, which those of you into this kind of thing will know about. Well, I can't see anything about power. TX power setting, page 32. It might have a kind of inkling. 4 watts and half a watt. Well, that sounds fine. So we'll see what their 4 watts really is. And it may be different on VHF to what it is on UHF. So we've got 433, 475. So I'll put picture in picture on. And hopefully we're on. So I'm going to put the test set on the 3 watt scale, so the meter should hit the end stop. It does. So 4 watts is there. It's doing 4.2 with the fully charged battery. So that does what it says. Did I say 4 watts? I've already forgotten. And if you hear sizzling in the background, I'm cleaning some records. Yeah, 4 watts. So it's actually doing more, which is great. I'm not going to test low power because I don't expect there's a quick way to get into that, unless there is. Let's go back to page 32. There may be. Enter menu 4. Right. It could be that button. Function.
Menu. Power. Squelch level.
No. That messed it up, didn't it? So, function.
Enter.
How do we go back?
Menu. Power. Power.
I don't know how it changes.
Power. Bot level.
Not very intuitive. Yeah, well, don't ask me, but if we need it, I was going to test that, but it's I can't see how it's done. It certainly isn't the up-down button. It certainly isn't the rotary control on the top. So I don't know. Okay, so let's go through the channels then. Presumably this is the channel.
2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5.
Right, so we're now on 145.475, so we're on 2 meters. Let's see what the power's doing on this band. It's doing 4.8 watts. So 4.3 on 70 sems and 4.8 on 2 meters. So with a fully charged battery, it does more than what it says on the tin, which is quite good. So let's look at deviation. Let's hope it's something acceptable. Oh, of course, I'm used to doing CBs, aren't I? So I've got to change the position of the equipment. So change that to there, and we should be, if it's 144, should be about there. It is 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 wallow. That's pretty low. Wallow. Oh, it was me. 1 2 1 2 1 2 wallow. It's about 3, which is what you'd expect for something which is, I presume it's 25 spacing. Well, certainly as he's got that set up, it will be. I know that the radio does 12.5. So on UHF, it's going to be the same, I'm sure, but we'll just check.
6, 7, 1.
So we'll again change the equipment over to UHF. So we're on 433, so we'll just tune that in. 1 2 1 2 wallow. 1 2 wallow. So it's doing about 5 kHz deviation on UHF, which if it's 25 spacing is about right. So
I was about to tell you that's
thanks, Mr.
25, so
yes, and you have done that on 2 meters as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the deviation is not as high on there. It's doing 4.3 watts on 2 meters with a flexibly charged battery, and 4.8 watts on 70 sems.
I'm actually thinking about I might not, if it defaulted to an FM, it might not be set the same on 2 meters.
Okay, well, it won't matter. So we're on the video, but we'd like a bit of
Yeah, so I just heard you coming over the tunnel and I thought I'd better tell you it's set to 25.
yeah. Anyway, at least it does what it says on the tin. There you've got a bit of Mr. Chippie there as he pokes his head round the room. Good. So that's really all I've got to say about it. I don't know how many memories. Does it say it's got 200 channels? So we've put 3 in on 70 sems and 3 in on 2 meters plus our repeater on 70 sems. So it does the 1750 tone, but we're on CTCSS. Scramble, I don't think that would be legal on ham radio, but there you go. So we're going to do a field test with this. Mr. Chippie's going to take the body cam out, and we're going to talk to him from probably our Maxon PM150 or something like that. So that's what we've got planned. So what I'll just do to conclude, quite a short video, but I just wanted. Oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to see how well it receives. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Alright, let's hope we can plug an earphone in. What's that doing? Is that on and off? It's got a torch in there somehow. I wonder how that works. Oh yeah. Right. So we're going to put into the signal generator 433.475. let's hope we can plug the test equipment in. No, we can't. That's a shame. But what we can do, we can hear, we can listen to how far it goes. We can't give you a cyanide reading. So that's 1 microvolt. That's 0.3 of a microvolt. 0.2. 0.15. 0.1. And that's as far as 0.06 is as far as our attenuator goes. So that's excellent. So we'll switch it to VHF and go to 145.475 if I dial that in. Right, 145.475. Oh, it's 525. I'm sure we've got that in somewhere.
6, 5.
It has. That's what I intended to put in. I was wondering if there's an S meter, but I can't see that there is. Oh, there could be. Hang on a minute. There could be. Yes, there is. I'll just zoom in. And hang on to this little set at the same time. Put the backlight on. So, just here on the left there's an antenna symbol. Put that backlight back on. And it comes back up. So that's 0.3 microvolt, 0.2 microvolts, 0.15, 0.1, and again 0.06 when the squelch is coming in. So the sensitivity is off the clock. It's absolutely excellent. Now, unfortunately, I can't tell you what it's doing on cyanide with us not being able to plug in. Looks to me like the earphone jack's 2.5mm on this. I think that's that standard Kenwood type of arrangement. Put the camera back to its normal position. So you've got monitors as a squelch override there, and there you are. So you can put frequencies in direct, but I said Mr. Chippie's done it through the Chirp software. So what I'm going to just conclude with, we'll unplug the test equipment, switch it off and save some electricity, and we'll just put the antenna on. We'll see if we can get into our repeater, which is 7 miles from here. And it says on 70 SEMS UHF. So hopefully I'm not receiving it, but I did hear it come over the tannoy that it was receiving coming back. I'll just see if I can move around again with it. Oh, there we are. Yep, we are just into the repeater if I pick my spot, so it's certainly doing that, so that's great. So even on that rubber aerial, it is doing the 7-mile trip. Good, well there you are, the TYT, whatever it's called, TH-UV88. But I looked at the box, it probably would have told me more. And so I'm very pleased to have received that as a prize. And thanks for watching.